Hey tribe, welcome back to another episode of Midweek Life Empowerment with me, Nondomisoga Majola. It is um, another episode, it is another week, it is another episode of Empowered Conversations where we inspire, impact, and empower. And this is the last video for 2023. If you're watching this video, just know it is the last video for 2023. And we are reflecting. It's all about reflections. Anyone who knows me will know that I'm big on reflecting. I'm one person who will look back for them to find a way forward. So before we get hyped up about planning for the year ahead, about creating vision boards, I always believe that you need to first reflect as to how was your year, then you can be able to plan ahead. Let us jump on to today's video and let me unpack some journal prompts that will guide you on how you can do your own reflection, or how I have been doing my reflections, because I know quite a lot of people will want to do the reflection but they will not know where to start, and not all of us are familiar with journaling. So with the reflection, you don't need to be someone who journals or whatsoever, even though it's a good thing to do, but it's you looking back into the year and all aspects of your year to check where did you do well, what did you not do well, how was your year. This is based on how I do it. So the first thing I normally do, number one, is to try and sum up the year in one word or in a phrase or in a sentence. Like 2023 for me was da 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 da. Then you can, like, you summarize everything in a phrase, in a sentence, in one word, if you are able to. So that already help you, and it forces you to actually think, if you were to call your 2023, what would you say? And secondly, you go on and list your highlights for the year. What are your biggest highlights? Your highlights and your accomplishments for 2023. You need to be able to identify your biggest highlights for the year, or your highlights for the year, because if I say biggest, then if it's not that big, then you think it's not a highlight. It's going to be a highlight anyway. What are your highlights for the year? And then thirdly, you move and into asking yourself what worked in 2023. This is where you deeply look into your wins and successes. How were you able to get to the point of saying this particular thing or this particular goal was a success, or this particular thing was a win for me? What techniques did you use? What strategies did you use that worked or that yielded into the results, or into the good results? And once you've identified those, you might want to incorporate those strategies and techniques as you are planning for the year ahead, because they have been proven to you that they are a winning formula. And number 4, what didn't work? What are your mistakes? What are your failures? Here you are looking at the things you did that were huge mistakes, and you are looking at things you tried to do and they just didn't work out, like the things you failed at doing. It could be something you tried and failed, or it could be something you could not, you just failed to even try. And then from the lessons, from the mistakes and failures, the biggest takeout should be the lessons. The biggest takeout from this exercise, from your mistakes and failures, from identifying your mistakes and failures, should be not to judge yourself, not to be harsh on yourself, but rather take the lessons. Take the lessons and see how you can use those very same lessons into doing something good out of it. The next question you need to ask yourself is, what did I learn in 2023? This could be general life lessons that you learned. either intentionally or life taught you, or it could be practical skills that you learned in the year. In that particular year. So we're talking about 2023. What have you learned in 2023? What kind of skills did you learn, and what life lessons did you learn? And then number 6, ask yourself, number 6, how did my life evolved in 2023? This is very important because you need to know whether you are staying on the same level. Are you growing? Are you evolving? Are you becoming better? So ask yourself, what did I learn? How did I evolve in 2023? How did you change? This is you asking yourself, how did I change this year? This could be internal or external. So it doesn't have to be something tangible, something that everyone can see. It could be the internal evolvement where you moved, where you healed from something, where you find peace from something, where you just worked on your inner self. But how did you evolve? How did you change? And then the last one, you can have as many as you want, but the last one for me will be, what about 2023 am I grateful for? You need to be able to sit down, because we normally get caught up into identifying the challenges, the mistakes, and then we think we have not made it. Once you sit down and you intentionally look for the things to be grateful for, you will be surprised, and you are also opening up a room for more blessings. You need to end the year with so much gratitude. There is no better way to reflect than to incorporate your reflections with your gratitude. And it's always a good idea to end the year with gratitude. So the last thing will be you sitting down and listing all the things that you are grateful for in 2023. I'm gonna quickly share my own, because I've already done my reflections. I'm gonna read them out to you. I'm gonna quickly share my own personal reflections for 2023. So in no particular order, I will just share. If I were to sum up my 2023, I will sum it up into like a sentence. 2023 for me is the year that I learned to take care of my soul. I intentionally slowed down when I felt burning out looming in, um, which was something I was never good at in my previous life, or rather in the past years. But this year I was very intentional. I think it was around March when I had my first when I felt my first kind of like burnout, because I had been working and working and working, and I intentionally took a week away. And from there, I told myself that each and every week I will have me time. Me time for me is nothing hectic. It's just me taking care of my soul. It's just me spending time with myself in solitude. It's me doing the things that I love. It's me traveling. It's me reading. It's different for all of us, but this is something I intentionally did this year to take care of my soul, and to ensure that I do not get burned out. One of the biggest highlights or accomplishment was finishing it off, the self-exploration journal, because I started writing it 2 years ago, but I had breaks there, here and there. I had doubts, and for me to finish it off and actually put it out there was the greatest achievement for 2023. Being able to, at the beginning of the year, I always do the vision board. I do not I intentionally not put dates on my vision board, but I just list the things I would like to achieve in my life. So whether it's achieving it in that year or the following year or in January or in December, as long as I will achieve it at some point. So this year I put on a vision board for myself, and I was amazed just last week as I was looking into my vision board, and almost 75% of the things I wanted to see or I wanted to do happened. So that is a big achievement. What worked for me in 2023 I think I continued to being real. Like I'm evolving, I'm growing into, I'm becoming more and more comfortable. It has become my flex. My authenticity has become my flex. And how it has worked for me, it has worked in my favor. There were some projects this year that I was supposed to cancel because things were not coming together. But because I was authentic about, I was real about it, I was vulnerable enough to share to my tribe, it ended up happening through my authenticity. So what I'm carrying on to 2024 is definitely my realness. It's my unique self, my authenticity. It's just being me. It's not trying to fake things. It's not trying to be someone I'm not. When things are not going okay, things are not going okay. I'm not gonna try and pretend as if things are happening for me while they're not happening, because I have seen that in doing so, you are allowing yourself, you are allowing opportunities to come your way. So authenticity is one of my biggest flex. It has worked for me. And also another thing that has worked for me, that continues rather to work for me, is to plan, plan, plan. Like, it's to have a clear plan, a clear structure. Whenever I went into a week without a clear plan or without a clear vision for that week, then that week will be that work will be like a waste of a week, because I cannot function without like a plan. So for me, it's being authentic and is planning. Generally is to stay prepared. Is preparation. It worked. It worked. It continues to work for me. One of the biggest mistake I did in 2023 was downplaying myself in a certain area of my life. In a certain area of my life, and it has caused chaos. It seemed right at the beginning. It seemed like a right thing to do, given the situation I was faced at that particular time. But it taught me so much about who I am not. I learned that as I am in the business of empowering others, as I am passionate about empowering others, be it life empowerment, be it business empowerment, it was very important for me to continue to learn, to be, so that I can be relevant, so that I can evolve so that I can get new information that is out there. So I was very intentional about this year. Learned new skills, and went out of my way to get advanced training on in the areas of my interest. So I attended workshop, I attended trainings, because I really wanted to empower myself, and also I really wanted to pour into myself so that I can be able to pour into others. How my life evolved. My life changed for the better in 2023. What am I most grateful for? I'm grateful for new connections. I made a lot of new connections, by the way, in 2023, and that affirmed me of the foundation I have built for myself. Sometimes when you're still planting the seed, you don't know if if it will ever comes up, or it will just die in the soil. But today was a testament that whatever I've been sowing, people are noticing, people are seeing, and through that, I had then gained a lot of new connections. And the grace, man, I'm grateful for the grace to be able to do the things I wanted to do. I managed to achieve 75% of the things that I wanted to achieve in 2023. And it can only be grace that carried me through. There were a lot of challenges this year. This is one year that wanted to like bring me down, like altogether. But grace kept me through. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful to God. I'm grateful to my tribe, because there was a tribe of women. There is a tribe of women who carried me through my rough days, my rough month, who believed in my potential, and poured into it, who clapped for me, who affirmed me, who encouraged me to tap into my power, who made me feel that this is just a season and it will pass. There were a lot of challenges for me in 2023 in particular. As a result, I'm so excited to see that almost 75% of the things I wanted to achieve happened. This is one year that really wanted to knock me out. Like it was challenge after challenge. There is a lot that happened. Things were not going according to plan. Things were just not moving the way I want them to move. Things were falling apart right in front of me. But grace kept me through, and the tribe of women that I've built for myself carried me through. So I'm grateful for those women. They know themselves. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my kids. I'm grateful for a lot of I'm grateful for life. I'm grateful for my friends. I've got such great friends who knows the song in my heart. The tribe of women that carried me through this year, I felt like there were those friends whom we grew up with, and they knew the lyrics of my favorite song, and I had forgotten the lyrics, and they were able to carry on singing on my behalf, or remind me rather that here are the lyrics, this is how you're supposed to sing, you can do this. Yeah, it was that kind of year. So I'm very grateful to see it, that I was able to come this far. We are almost at the end of the year. We're a few days until the year ends, and here I am standing, and I'm looking forward to 2024. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I challenge you to take a few hours of your day and really sit with yourself and do these reflections. You will be surprised as to how much you have achieved, as to how much you have accomplished, as how much you have learned in a year. But if you are not intentionally sitting down or looking back, you will never know. You might even complain and think that things this year was a waste, or things didn't work out, not noticing that you actually gained more than you had hoped for. That's me signing off officially in 2023. I will see you guys in 2024. Have a lovely holidays. Stay blessed and stay empowered.